A couple, Karen Reed and John O'Keefe, and a group of friends went to the Waterfall Bar and Grill in Canton, Massachusetts, on the night of January 28, 2022. It was so cold that it was hard to breathe if you were outside. Karen has several alcoholic drinks at the bar, and she ends up driving John to the house of Brian Albert, who was a retired police officer. People from that bar were planning to meet up again at this house. Everything seems to be normal until they find John lying in the snow in front of Brian's home. When paramedics arrive, Karen allegedly tells them, "I hit him! I hit him!" So this begs the question, what happened, why, and exactly how? Let's begin. John wasn't just anyone. He was a 16-year Boston police veteran. But even more than that, he was a family man. He stepped in to help raise his niece and nephew after tragedy. Karen, on the other hand, worked in finance. She was sharp, career-driven, and put together. Their love story wasn't new. They had dated in their 20s, gone their separate ways, and then reconnected in 2020. On the surface, it looked like fate had given them a second chance. But sometimes, what looks like meant to be hides cracks no one else sees. After Karen drops John off around 1 a.m., she allegedly leaves John a voicemail that says, "You are a freaking loser. F yourself. John, I effing hate you." Then at 4:23 a.m., while it was still snowing heavily outside, John's niece called family friend and said Karen was distraught. Karen was heard screaming, "John didn't come home. We had a fight." Around 5:07 a.m., Karen, John's niece, and a third woman went to look for John, and around 6 a.m., Karen finds John lying in the snow, unresponsive. According to the paramedics, she said, "I hit him! I hit him!" Now, here is where it gets weirder. Apparently, somebody Googled, how long does it take to die in the cold? On this one, though, the timing of that search is still debated between prosecutors and the defense. Later, John dies at the hospital. This makes me wonder, how did John die exactly? They did an autopsy on John, and they found that the cause of death was blunt impact injuries to the head and hypothermia. However, what's chilling is that the medical examiner did not find any obvious signs of a fight. That line hits me because we're still left asking how he was hurt. Police found a broken cocktail glass and pieces of taillight at the scene. Karen was also found with blood alcohol content that was higher than the legal limit on that night. Prosecutors claimed that Karen, while intoxicated, backed her SUV into John on a snowy road and left him. They pointed to taillight fragments, paint smears, and bruises. But the defense painted a totally different picture. They said that John was hurt inside the house during an altercation or a fall, and later he ended up outside. So this begs a question. Why didn't anyone help if he was actually hurt inside the house? There's different reasons. Well, it's a late night party. At 2 a.m., somebody slumped over, looks like they're just drunk. Also, John's head was injured, and you mix that with the cold, it can be deadly. Then you got many witnesses that were tied to law enforcement. This can affect what people say. These layers can stack together, and you end up with a town split down the middle. After a hung jury and a retrial, Karen was acquitted of murder and manslaughter in June 2025. But she was convicted of operating under the influence and was given probation instead. But you know what's sad? John is gone, the family man who always puts others first. Mama, Grandma, and everyone else, thank you for listening. And if you're going through a tough season, Please know that it will pass. Brighter days are coming. If this story touched you, don't forget to subscribe so we can share more stories together. Now it's time for me to go hug my baby boy a little tighter. See you next time, Mama.